Nur Najiha binti Zulkarnain, Muhammad Haikal Al-Haziq bin Al-Hilmi Afendi, Zulaini binti Zulkifli, Muhammad Azri Fikri bin Muhammad Ridani, Nurul Fatin Nasuha binti Abdul Aziz.
Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to present our topic risk mitigation in small medium enterprise business market penetration strategies. So we go through the introduction. SME, manufacturing sector sales turnover not exceeding 50 million or full-time employees not exceeding 200 workers, and for the service and other sectors, sales turnover not exceeding 20 million or full-time employees not exceeding 75 workers, which is since 2005, there have been many development in the economy, such as the price had changed in the business trends, and the definition also changed. Start the development in the economy since in 2013, the definition of SME it covers all the sector, which is from the service, from the manufacturing, construction, agriculture, and so on. So we go through the visions. To be a great specialized financial institutions and to offer service exceeding customer satisfaction for social well-being of the nation. It means that to achieve the goals and also to create high level awareness in business to make it more advanced. The mission is to develop SME to be the nation engine of growth in line with the government economic agenda, which is to achieve sustainable growth by using the right method and to be the most innovative suppliers to boost trust for the consumer. Next, SME Bank. SME Bank is a Malaysian small and medium enterprise banking company established on 3 October 2005, owned by the Ministry of Finance Malaysia. The bank has grown rapidly through the 5-year transformation program 2010 and has been using Sharia compliant principle since 2015. The main activity of this bank is providing financial assistance and expertise to small and medium enterprise, which is SME Bank is the only Malaysian development financial institution which is to establish a center for the entrepreneur, which is provide service including research-based training, business coaching, and so on. Okay, so that is the example of symbol SME Bank. So next is SME Corporation, which is a center coordinating agency under the Ministry of Entrepreneur, Development and Cooperatives, which is yang mana menyelaraskan the implementation of development program for SME, which across all related ministries and agency. It is the center point for research and data for SME and entrepreneurs, and it also can provide advisory service for SME. Now is the symbol of SME development programs implemented by SME Corporation Malaysia. So next is the roles and function of SME Corporation Berhad are as follows. First, to coordinate the policies and program for SME, yang mana untuk menyelaraskan dasar dan program dalam SME ni. And then for second, as a center for information and advisory for SME, mana sebagai pusat maklumat dan nasihat. And seterusnya, to manage the SME data and disseminating research finding on SME, di mana menguruskan data SME dan menyebarkan hasil penyelidikan tu. And then act as a business support, yang mana SME ni merupakan dia menyokong dalam perniagaan. Next is NSDC, National SME Development Council, Majlis Pembangunan Kebangsaan. The NSDC was set up as main body to look after the SME development, yang mana among NSDC function is formulate broad policies and strategies to facilitate the overall development of SME across all sectors. Di mana dia melakukan strategi yang luas untuk perkembangan SME dekat semua sektor. Kemudian, review the roles and responsibilities of government ministries and agencies responsible for SME development. Di mana dia mengkaji peranan kementerian dan agensi kerajaan yang bertanggungjawab untuk perkembangan SME. Kemudian, enhance cooperation and coordination as well as guide stakeholders to ensure effective implementation of SME development policies and action plans. Mana dia meningkatkan kerjasama dan membimbing kepentingan untuk memastikan tindakan yang dilakukan oleh SME itu efektif. And then, encourage and strengthen the role of the private sector in supporting the overall development of SME, di mana dia memperkukuhkan peranan sektor swasta dalam menyokong perkembangan SME.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Nur Fatina Suha binti Abdul Aziz. Today I will present the type of risk in SMEs. We have 4 types of risk in SMEs, which is raw material price risk, supply chain risk, growth risk, management and employee risk. Okay, now we go to the raw material price risk. First, the risk may occur because the volatility of raw material price in agriculture and on energy market. Besides, if we look in a recent year, the volatility of raw material price in agriculture and on energy market has become a new challenge for SMEs. Regarding these situations, many SMEs are looking for ways to manage the volatility of their raw material cost. Next point is rising commodity price could no longer be passed on routinely to customer. It is because due to an increasingly competitive market between SMEs and other market. However, it cannot be assumed that all companies are exposed to the same problem. Okay, next is SMEs cannot afford the investment in the technologies. Compared to the larger companies, they can afford investment in technologies, but for the SMEs, they can't afford it because it may cost them a lot. By having technology, it is easier for them to change to cheaper resource when the price are rising. However, many SMEs cannot afford this investment and thus more exposed to raw material price risk. Okay, now we go to the supply chain risk. Okay, first, higher dependence of the SMEs on their supplier chains due to increased complexity. It because SME must offer an increasingly wide range of products to meet their customers' needs. So, the dependence of SMEs to their supplier become more higher. Second is increased complexity in an SME supplier may also result in higher level of trade debts. This happens due to SME are often no longer able to concentrate only on local market, which again lead to increased complexity and higher level of supply chain risk. This may pose considerable risk to SME survival. Okay, next is SME are also often limited to one supplier in the procurement of product. Any difficulties with the supplier may lead to production interruptions. Most of SME use single sourcing as a procurement strategy, and the total purchase volume is not divided between several suppliers. They depend on one supplier because they hope to gain a better bargaining position with their supplier and thus a price advantage. But without they notice, This may lead to production interruption if any difficulties arise. Okay, now we go to the growth risk. A desire for growth may involve a higher risk of becoming unable to cover growing risk. Firm growth is often considered a strategic goal in many largest companies, but SME reader think differently and view growth as a risk rather than a strategic goal. Next is SMEs often do not have the know-how technique required to run such growth project efficiently. SME growth is mainly accomplished through project, but this poses major risk if SME do not know how to handle this project efficiently. Next is entering new market come at the cost of considerable resource effort for SME in order to assess whether the company can be successful in the new market. So most of SMEs view growth as a risk rather than a strategic goal. Okay, now we go to management and employees risk. Okay, first, SME exposed to loss of knowledge when experienced employees with valuable information and knowledge leave the organization. This loss of long-term employees and manager may be especially risky for SMEs because often no other employees or manager in the firms possess similar knowledge. Besides, knowledge about risk management may be mostly informal in SMEs, which complicates effective building of risk management capacity among SMEs employees. Okay, next is SMEs rarely offer employee development programs and continuing education. This may give a considerable impact on the company and may thus involve a significant risk for SMEs. Their lack of knowledge prevents them from properly protecting their intellectual property. Last point is SMEs owner reluctant to invest in knowledge building activities. Some owners are well aware of the importance of employee knowledge and the risk associated with losing such knowledge. However, SMEs owner seems to be somewhat reluctant to invest in knowledge building activities, which might help to mitigate such knowledge risk. It is because to invest in knowledge building activity may cost them a lot. So many SMEs do not want to invest in knowledgeable building activities.
Now let's talk about penetration strategies. There are so many penetration strategies, but to make it simple, I only take 4. First one, starting a SME business with product that have low production prices and can achieve high profits. The second one, ensure that the products produced by the SME are products that suit the geographic requirements and have high demand. And the third, produce products that are easy to gain the trust of supermarkets. And the last but not least, produce products that have their own uniques in order to gain regular and constantly increasing customers. Now, let's take a look at my first point. My first point is starting a SME business with a lower production prices and can achieve the highest profits. Let's take a look at the pictures. The pictures is about raw material. What is the connection between raw materials and my first point? The connection is about how to achieve the highest profits by using the low production prices. Okey, kat sini macam mana saya mengatakan bahawa hubungan di antara bahan mentah yang murah dapat mencapai harga ataupun keuntungan yang tinggi. Setiap SME itu mempunyai bahan mentah yang berasingan dan setiap bahan mentah itu, kalau kita tengok contoh kicap. Kicap tidak mempunyai satu jenama, tetapi kicap mempunyai banyak jenama. Dan bagaimanakah setiap kicap itu berbeza pada harganya? Jadi, bahan mentah memainkan peranan yang utama untuk mempunyai modal yang rendah. Apabila modal kita rendah, jadi kita boleh meletakkan harga itu rendah. Jadi, persaingan di pasaran apabila harga kita rendah, permintaan akan bertambah disebabkan harga yang murah. Di samping kualiti yang kita jaga, jadi di situ kita akan memperoleh untung yang tinggi. Okay guys, let's move to the point number 2. The point is ensure the product produced by SME are product that suit the geographic requirement and have high demand. Di sini saya telah menyediakan 3 poin untuk anda baca, tetapi saya ingin menerangkan mengikut kefahaman saya. Jadi, geographic requirement ni ialah kehendak setempat. Contoh yang mudah yang boleh saya bagi ialah budu. Budu ialah makanan orang Kelantan. Jadi, kalau kita pergi jual di Kedah, tak ada orang nak beli. Jadi, itu adalah contoh yang mudah. Apabila budu itu dikeluarkan di Kelantan, maka produksinya akan tinggi dan pulangannya juga akan tinggi. Dari segi high demand pula, mengikut kefahaman saya suka untuk mengkaitkan dengan teknologi. Kenapa? Contoh di sini saya ada iPhone. Abaikan orang dalam. Dan di sini saya ada jam smartwatch. Okey, pada pandangan saya dan saya pasti anda semua juga bersetuju dengan saya jika saya mengatakan bahawa kedua-dua barang yang saya tunjuk tadi ialah barang yang mempunyai kehendak yang tinggi. Hal ini kerana kalau telefon bimbit pada penggunaannya dan kalau pada jam ialah pada penggayaannya. Jadi, SME perlu bijak mengatur langkah, memikirkan produk apa yang sepatutnya mereka mengeluarkan bagi mendapatkan hasil atau pulangan yang tinggi. Let's move to the point number 3. The point is produce product that are easy to gain the trust of supermarkets. Okey, di sini saya ingin menekankan bahawa pihak-pihak SME perlulah mengeluarkan produk-produk yang mampu untuk menembusi pasaran pasaraya. This is because according to the Secretary of Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, which is General Datuk Muiz Abdul Aziz, said in the Sun Daily article, this was to ensure that the guidelines that have been in place since 2010 can be fully implemented while at the same time assisting the campaign. Jadi, di sini apa yang ingin diperkatakan oleh Datuk Muiz Abdul Aziz ialah produk-produk SME ini telah memasuki pasaraya semenjak 2010 lagi. Jadi, pada tahun 2019, dia juga berharap agar pihak-pihak SME ini mampu untuk mengeluarkan produk-produk yang boleh menembusi pasaran pasaraya. Di samping itu, apabila produk-produk ini telah memasuki pasaran pasaraya, so if the SME product can get into the supermarket, it can be more easier to the Malaysian people to buy Malaysian product campaign, and of course the campaign will be more successful. And if you all want to know, the second picture is YB Datuk Saifuddin, which is the Ministry of MCMC now, shaking hand with Head Secretary of Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, which is YB Datuk Sri Hasnul Zamzam bin Haji Ahmad. This is general knowledge. Okay guys, let's move to the last point, which is point number 4. The point is produce products that have their own uniqueness in order to gain regular and constantly increasing customers. Okay, let's take a look at the picture. The picture is about Mak Chun. Mak Chun, what are you selling? I'm selling bedak sejuk. Okay, Mak Chun menjual bedak sejuk. Kat sini saya sediakan 2 soalan yang mana suka untuk saya jawab. Jadi soalan yang pertama, pengguna bedak sejuk ni, kalau kita tahu, hanyalah orang yang terdahulu. Sebab apa? Zaman dahulu tak ada skincare, tapi mereka juga mahu cantik. Jadi mereka menggunakan bedak sejuk. Okey, yang kedua, bagaimanakah dia mempromosikan produk ini? Sebab tu saya mengatakan bahawa setiap produk yang ingin dikeluarkan oleh pihak SME perlulah mempunyai keunikannya sendiri. Dan di samping itu, saya juga mengatakan bahawa di samping kita mempunyai customer yang tetap ataupun pelanggan yang tetap, seperti bedak sejuk ni, pelanggan tetapnya ialah orang-orang zaman dahulu ataupun orang-orang tua. Jadi, bagaimanakah kita ingin anak-anak muda zaman sekarang menggunakan bedak sejuk instead of skincare? Jadi, seperti yang kita lihat di dalam filem ataupun drama Mak Chun tu, begitulah caranya. Pada mulanya, dia pergi ke setiap rumah di kampungnya sendiri untuk menunjukkan bagaimanakah caranya, bagaimanakah hasilnya. Jadi, begitulah sepatutnya pihak-pihak SME ni perlu memikirkan sebelum mereka mengeluarkan produk sendiri. Jadi, jom kita tengok. Let's move to the another presenter. Bye-bye.
Next, we move to the risk management process in SME.
Let's continue with SME risk management process. The first step in the risk management process, which should be carried out continuously and systematically, is identifying possible sources of loss and risk. There is 3 different methods that can be used to identify the risk of loss. Okay. The first one is systematic review of all data on business, asset, activity, and staff. And the second one is using financial statement to identify the sources of the potential financial loss. The last one is using chart to analyze all operation or activity of the enterprise. It is proposed that strategy project risks that may jeopardize the entire project or the survival of the business should be removed completely, and that more operational risks should be carefully identified and analyzed. However, efficient risk identification in SME may be hindered by SME employee limited knowledge. So, a precondition of effective and comprehensive risk identification in SME may be building risk management in their employee. The second step in this risk management process is risk analysis, which is involved in measuring and estimating the potential frequency of loss and the potential impact of the risk on the company projects. So the risk can be ranked according to the important for the company. So the company will know which one is more risky than the others. This method help to establish risk management priorities and provide a starting point for selecting appropriate risk management technique for each risk.
The next process of risk management is selection of technique. Under this process, we analyze some method that suitable to use for handling risk management in SME. First one is insurance. Insurance is sometimes associated with considerable cost, and that insurance basically cover unexpected event. Delivering more details on event covered by insurance in SME. SME usually obtain insurance against fire, flooding, property damage, and personal injury. Aside from providing protection against financial loss from such event, insurance may also cover other services for SME, even if the insured SME does not suffer any loss. So maksudnya insurans selain daripada memberi perlindungan terhadap kerugian kewangan yang telah kita alami daripada sesuatu peristiwa. Insurans juga merangkumi perkhidmatan lain untuk SME walaupun SME yang diinsurankan itu tidak mengalami sebarang kerugian. Thus, even if the event against which SME has insured does not materialize, arranging insurance may be advantageous because they are forced to analyze their risk. Be careful. The next is weather derivatives. Extreme weather condition has prompted many SME to hedge their exposure to catastrophe such as flood, tornadoes and drought with the help of weather derivatives. So maksudnya SME memberi mereka bantuan kepada yang menghadapi banjir, puting beliung dan juga kemarau. This financial instrument enable SME to transfer the weather risk to a third party. Same with the insurance, the company owner enter into a contract with the contractor and may exercise the option later if weather conditions are unfavorable. By using weather derivatives, the financial pressure on the SME owner and the variability of sale in SME can often be reduced by more than 18%. The next is selection of supplier. SME can enter into contract with individual supplier to influence supplier behavior, which in turn can mitigate risk. This contract can be some kind of performance guarantee that require constant quality of the product supplied to an SME and may incorporate penalty. Some company working only with supplier they already knew and who had a similar mentality. As a result, risk associated with new supplier will avoided. SME prefer using local supplier as a risk handling technique must be treated with caution. 10 out of 11 managers interviewed by Illegat 2008 reported that they focus on pursuing product in local market because this is especially advantageous for Western industry companies since a number of risks such as political unrest, customer and currency problem, and risks associated with culture difference can be avoided. The next is emergency plan. Emergency plans, it may be important for companies to have established a continuity plan or contingency plan, especially in cases of natural disaster or terrorist attack. Maksudnya penting dalam bencana alam dan juga serangan daripada pengganas. For example, how the staff must evacuate the building and how temporary relocation of the company is to be arranged. SME are more likely to lack such a plan than large firms.
After the risk has been identified and analyzed, and decision has been made in which method do you want to use to deal with the risk, the first step in this risk management process consists of implementation chosen method. Okay. In this process is where we carry out the chosen method to eliminate the risk that we face. In addition, all affected employee need to be informed of the risk management objective of the company, so they are not left behind. And also, this is really help the company to deal with the risk. The final step in this risk management process is regularly review the introduced technique and measure to ensure that they meet current requirement. Okay. SME define performance standard or criteria to monitor the risk management process effectively and continuously. With that, we need to always review and keep on update in how the risk management apply, so we will know whether our method is really effective or not.
So the conclusion, be able to identify strategies in SME to manage the risk involved, which is with the strategies given, the higher the perceived risk, the higher SME use mitigation strategies to manage the risk.